Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I was sorry I'm like a few seconds late there. I was looking for something to demonstrate what we're going to talk about today, and I got um the art took over what I was doing. And so um one second here. So the art took over what the visual representation took over what I wanted to talk about, um and so I lost track of time, and well, that's kind of typical for an artist to lose track of time. So um today we're talking about using lines of convergence in collage art, and I was looking through the Vogue magazine that I used the other day to to demonstrate what I'm going to talk about. But have you ever felt like when you're looking at a piece of art where your eye just naturally gazes to the focal point? So this is kind of like a jumping off point, uh, the lines, a jumping off point from the focal point that we talked about yesterday. And so when your eye naturally gazes over to to that focal point, the the reason for that is the artist used the lines to guide your eye to that focal point. And so, and a lot of the artwork that we've been creating, I have been creating um a lot of lines, right? Um to add interest to the collages. Yesterday, I don't know if you noticed it, but I was adding some lines to one of the pieces that we'll work on today that has not been glued down, so it's probably a mess right now. And um one second here. And so what I want to talk about is show you a couple of representations of, you may not see it when you look at a piece of art. And again, art could be anything that you're working on. So I'm going to show you some photographs. Um this photographer who took these pictures of these kids playing soccer was definitely was using lines to guide your eye towards the focal point. And sometimes it may not be, um you may not recognize it, right? And sometimes it may be very recognizable. So that's what I got caught up in looking at. There's a couple of there's one other picture that I wanted to show. But lines can also guide your eye off the page. Um, and so using lines, and I'm going back trying to look for that picture to show you the differences here in just a minute. But lines can be very powerful, and whether it's color, like a line of color, or a lines that are implied, or shapes, lines used are created by shapes. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I'm trying to find that picture for you. One second, I lost it. Oh, and this was a good representation too, as I was thinking through it. Are we getting close? Probably not. All right. Well, that's disappointing because it was a good representation. Now I got to find it. All right, let's go back through here, and I'll go top down and see if we can't find it together. Okay, this is this Vogue magazine we used the other day. And just like any other book, it should have a table of contents. So let's see if we can find that. So, no, can't even find the table of contents. Scissors here, so I don't lose that place. Oh my, where is that table of contents? Okay. And I'm looking for it. 1 second. 180. Okay. Is it that close? Oh, I guess it was. Okay. Okay, found it. All right, great. Put a pin there. All right, so let's do the easy one first. Okay. These kids here, well, I call them kids. I didn't read the article. Okay. These people here are playing soccer, right? Oh, I got things like all in the way. Let's all right. These people here are playing soccer. And these individuals, the lines are going up, right? Your eye is naturally guided upwards. You see the soccer ball, but you're guided upwards. And when your eye goes from the soccer ball and goes upwards, you see the soccer player in the background. And so these are implied, what I would call implied lines, right? Another one that I thought was very interesting. Here's another one. You have these lines here. You don't realize they're jumping until your eye moves down to the page. And but it also moves back up. And when your eye, you see the young ladies and you're looking downward, oh, okay, they're jumping. You look back up, your eye guides back up, and then you see the soccer player and he's going to hit the soccer ball. And so those are lines of conversions. Your eye is moving and reading the piece of the art. This other one that I was looking for that got me distracted was in another implied line. Okay. So the implied line here of the red pretty much to me does two things. One, it divides the picture, but also moves your eye down the road. The photographer is taking a picture of them marching down the road. He could have taken the picture straight on. He could have taken the picture looking backwards as they were coming towards him, but he is looking at them as they marched past him. Okay. And it's also showing the sea of red, the sea of the marching, and your eye is guiding down the road. And so sometimes your art, you want your art to not go off the page because when you're looking at this, your eye goes right off the page, right? And so you definitely want your artwork to be read all around. When we talked about this other one over here, now that I have to find it again, this this one here, your eye reads up and down and it stays on this piece of artwork. Oh, sorry. Your eye reads up and down and it stays on this piece of artwork. It doesn't go off the page. It doesn't come back off. It doesn't go off the page either way. You're reading it up and down. And so that's part of lines of conversion that we're talking about today. So and I pulled out some of my own pieces, and don't get me wrong, I mean, these are just fundamentals, right? So creating collages and doing intuitiveness, you may not always have those, you may have off the page, right? Artwork, or you may have your eye going towards the focal point. The reason why I pulled this one out was because while this was the focal point here, these lines kind of echoed that focal point. And so it could work in two ways, right? Your eye could be drawn to these lines to the focal point, or that you see the focal point first because it's so large that your eye sees the lines and you're off the collage. And so that's what we're talking about today. So going back to the focal point in your life, right? What are the guiding lines to your focal point in your life? What are the things, your pathways that are leading you to your focus and really connecting with the things around you and the things that are drawing your attention to your focus? And really reflect on that. So when you're creating your art. Here on this piece that we did, we have a line here. We also have a line here of these little rocks or whatever, and we have another line here. And while this creates depth, right? These are really lines. While this creates depth, your eye's drawn over here. Now, if I was really focused on this art as a piece of artwork, I don't know, just the artist in me. I don't know if I would have had this focal point and this focal point on this side of the collage because it's like it's tipping, right? It's tipping the artwork. But with this large line over here, it balances it back out. Personally, as an artist, I don't like things too much in a line like this. I would have preferred this to be over here, but I was in the moment, so I wasn't paying attention to that. If I were to redo this art, which I will not, I would have moved this over to here. I would have preferred it back over here. Just because these are two, in my mind, these are two major focal points. While they're balanced, the art piece is balanced because you have this large piece of line right here, this artwork or these rocks, whatever you want to call these things, they are they're tipping it back into balance. So, this one almost if I didn't have this large piece, you would have probably been unbalanced on this art. Okay. So, with that, let's go ahead and get creating. Good morning, Christina. So, again, this one was speaking to me yesterday. I found the little eyepiece that I was looking for, and it's a little stuck there. Okay, so I kind of know what I'm doing on this. I just have to glue the things down. So I am going to start with, and did I lose that little dot? I sure did. Oh, there it is. Okay, that one's hard to see. I gotta do something with that. All right. I think I wanted. I'm gonna put this one here. I was really excited to get back to this piece because I don't know if I want that there. I'm gonna push this in the back because it was already speaking to me yesterday, and then I don't know if you were recognizing what was happening, but it looked like it was a little a little picture was coming up, and it just so I just wanted to finish that. Oh, Sherry, you didn't put enough glue on things. You got a lot of heavy die cuts. Okay, come on. Get this guy out of the way. Oh, okay. I want to. I want. Oh, sure. Did I get down too fast? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Some of these are going to be hard to see until I put some shading with them. I think I wanted. I know that's not where I had it yesterday, but that's where I'm putting it now. And I wanted to cut that off before I glued that sucker down. Okay. That's down. All right. Okay. I'm moving this. Lift up. Wanted him. I know he's kind of centered. should have had more overlapping. Can I pick that up? Okay. All right. Where's that dot before I lose it again? Sorry, I'm just focused on this, gluing this down the way I want it. Okay. I want this back over here. Okay. All right. Let's see here 1 second. I don't. Just trying to give you guys some contrast so you can kind of see what's going on here without having that big glaring white light. I wish they made glass tops that did not have light that bounced off of them, if that makes sense. All right. Now there was one other piece I was looking for, or I was thinking about. Sometimes I have that art that just sticks in my mind, and it just will not go away. And then I'm messing with these shapes, and that would be a great shape for this or that. So sometimes my brain just really works on an art piece when I should be working on something else. So, oh, that's cool. We might do that. Okay. And there's another one, so we'll play with those too. All right. But I'm not seeing the little art shape that I want, and that's not cool. Oh, and I know what's in here because I've seen it. I've seen it. All right, well, you just go sit over there. I'll come back to you. It's not underneath here. Okay. Now I wanted to put these on here. We'll put it right there. Okay. Oh, come on. I don't like the way, I think I'm gonna have that come off the page a little bit. Maybe not. Can I pick that up? Oh, no, I cannot pick that up. You are there. Oh, that's so disappointing. Oh, that's okay. Okay. So talking about lines of convergence, it's kind of hard to see because this kind of blends in the back, and so does this. But the eye is moving upwards. You have these pointed things that are moving upwards to the focal point. And right now the focal point is right here. It's not as evident as I would like it to be, but that will be the focal point once we're finished. I don't like that one. That's too big. I like these little things though. These are cool. Just don't know if that's where I want to stick these. And where's this other one? Oh, oh, these guys. I like these guys. Morning, Christina. Do you have big plans for today? Because yesterday was your day off. So is today your day off as well? Okay. So by creating these shapes and lines, your eye is moving. You see them, right? Your eye sees them, and you're going to move your eye upwards. Creating an overlap here, kind of off the page. We'll trim those off later. A lot of chores plus work. Oh, yes. They'll work. I'll put that back down. Okay. It's not quite what I wanted, but that's what we're doing. All right. Now, that one little piece that I was looking for. I wish I could find it because it's in here. All right, here we go. We're just dumping it. Oh, that's a little wet. Okay. Sorry. I had to find that piece. It's just driving me nuts at this point. Oh, what's this piece? Oh, we've already seen that. Oh. Maybe that. Aha. I found you. I know there's another one. What is this? That could be interesting right there. I'm looking for some more pieces like this. Oh, that's a little bit too long. Nope. I don't have any more pieces that look like these two, but we're going to make some because oh, there's another one. Okay, like that one. So we're going to work on that. Oh, this one's cool. Does it fit anywhere? No. Put you back in there. Okay. Lost squirrels today. I'm visually distracted today. As an artist, I don't know if that ever happens to y'all, but I can get visually distracted. Do I like that there? Maybe. All right. Oh, I found the other one. Woohoo. All right. Pieces. You just go all over there. Okay. All right, we have a couple things to, we'll just leave you there because I might not use that. I might use something else. This one, I was looking for it to be right here. Is that where I want that? Oh, come on. Nope. I had it just a minute ago. Now my fingers will not work. Okay. The reason why I wanted this one is for various lengths. Okay, is that too late to pull that up? A little bit, but we'll go behind it as much as we can. And that might work. I just don't like that fat part. Let's cut that off. That gave it some more interest. And it's glued down there. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but do we want this one over here? No. Okay, you're done with that. Was there another piece that was on here? Oh, yeah, you're just sitting over there hiding. Okay. All right. So there we go. It looks like a little fish thing to me. I don't know about you, Christina. But this looks like a little fish, little swimming in the water of green water. Maybe it's algae water. I don't know. But this spoke to me yesterday when I put this blue down with this hole that was cut out of it. I said that looked like a fish. And so then I started building this little scene. Not the collage that I was looking for. I was looking for more abstract like collage, but sometimes when working with abstract pieces, little scenes come up. So this little scene will probably not go into with the rest of. Yep. So we'll work on the shading on that. And I just want to put a little, I just kind of want to make sure things are glued down right, because they seem to be like, oh, I knew it. I knew he was not like where he needed to be. I don't know why. Like some of my scenes I've come up with are very ocean-like or very by the sea. I don't know, but I don't think he's still right where I need him to be. Can I move you? Or oh, you stuck now? Okay, well, is that where I want you? Yeah, I think that's where I'm putting you. Okay. So we add some shading to this and they'll really pop and make it look different. I was thinking this could be a little bubble thing, but it's too big. So I won't use that. All right. So that's how we are. So again, the lines moves your eye upwards, right? So with that, when you're creating collages, sorry, when you're creating collages, and you have a focal point, and you were creating that collage, did you happen to naturally use lines that draw your eye towards the lines of convergence towards that focal point? Or did you use lines in your artwork that maybe when you're looking at your whole collage composition, it's it is moving off the page? Because if you find that when you're creating and your lines are moving off the page away from your focal point, you want to bring those lines back in. You want to bring them back to your focal point. So really think about that when you're creating your compositions. I mean, to me, each of these little, oh, trying to reach for it, each of these little things, each of these little things are compositions, right? So depending on how I put this composition together depends on, or I mean, turning it around, right? Different ways depends on how I want the composition to look. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. And maybe in some cases, there's not a focal point, and that's okay. Not every composition you have has to have a focal point. Like the one I just showed to me didn't really have a focal point. Um, but I can dive into deeper because other things are resonating with me right now on that collage. So, um, well, let's just go there. So, this collage here, right? Let's analyze this for a minute. Sorry. Um, I have these focal points. I mean, I have these lines of color here, and I have these lines of color here. I have section here and here. But every time I turn it around, the answer is the same. You may not recognize it. My eye is right here because the lines are either being drawn this way or this way. My eye is being drawn this way, right? Or downwards. And so the answer is right here. This negative space is my focal point. So each one of these little things that we've been creating has a focal point, whether it's obvious or not. But as I was just talking to you about this and explaining something else, and I kept turning it around, I was trying to figure out at the same time where's the focal point, and the focal point is the negative space. So that's why I had to go back there and explain. But these either collages, like this one here, resonates to me. When I look at this, I see that big piece of yellow, and then these echo off the page, right? Off the collage. And so to make this maybe more interesting, if I had a little bit more space, maybe I would have some other echoing pieces here. I'm not saying this is not a successful collage. What I'm saying is, how does your eye guide you from either to your eye for lines of convergence? The line should guide you to your focal point. And so some people may see it, the lines first, and guide to here. I, as the artist, sees this big round thing, and this is echoing. So you have an echo effect that's going on with this piece. So, um, with that, those are lines of conversions. And so when you're creating your collages, think about those things. Um, especially if you want to add some interest to your piece. Do you want the viewer, their eyes go off the piece or come back into the piece? So your eye can move around the artwork. And when you look at photographs or art, see how your eye naturally flows. And then also, when you're creating art and you're in this moment of you being the artist and trying to connect with yourself, um, think about your focal point in your life and what are the guiding lines to that focal point, and how is all that letting you have a sense of calm and resonate with who you are and finding time for yourself. And is that stress relief? So I have to say, yesterday wasn't stressful. Just going to my toxicity job, as I call it, is very stressful. And this moment in the morning before I go in helps me with my mindset, and I'm using the art to guide my focus to what I need to focus on at work and to remove my stress, you know, remove my stress before I go in. And so that way I have enough energy and positivity when I go into my 9 to 5 job to have a different mindset when I work with others and I work when I work with others and I work and do the work. The work's not hard. Working with others is hard. And that's usually what makes a 9 to 5 job difficult. So, putting my mind in a positive focus manner. And the art is guiding myself to that positive focus So that way I can go into doing that 9 to 5 job and doing the best job I can and being the best person I can and showing up for myself and showing up at work as myself. So that's why I do these art things so early in the morning. I've had a couple of people ask me why 4:30 in the morning, and that's because this is the time that before everybody wakes up, before life happens, that I can focus on me and my positivity. And with that, I hope you have a great day. I know we're a little over, but I hope you have a great day. And um, make sure you like and subscribe. And please comment below. What are the guiding lines in your life to your focus area? I would like to know that. And I know that sounds like a very deep conversation, but a lot of there's a lot of different analogies you can pull from that, right? So I'd be curious of what those are. And if you're part of the community, go drop your art in the community. I'd love to see it. Definitely want to see what you've been working on. It's okay if it's not finished. I had a couple pieces that weren't finished that I dropped into the community. And so, with that, thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art, and I'll see you tomorrow.